You can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would like to listen in a still position, you can feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there. And just let yourself fidget, adjust, stretch, move in whatever ways intuitively feel good in your body. Not worrying about what the movements are or what it looks like, but just letting your body move you in the ways that, again, intuitively feel good. In your bones, muscles, joints. And if what feels best for your body right now is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like the right thing. And just making note of how you are physically feeling today as we begin, how you are feeling emotionally. And just all the different aspects of how you could be feeling right now. And just making a note for yourself of how you are doing as we begin today. Remembering that each and every time we show up to a meditation practice or any healing practice, we will be starting from a new and unique place. So not holding yourself to any expectations of how you think you're supposed to feel or how you felt yesterday or the day before, but just becoming curious of how you already are feeling right now. And if you're in a space where you feel safe to do so, and if you haven't already, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time. You can mark your arrival into this practice today, into your body today, with a full, intentional cleansing breath. As you take a long and slow inhale in through the nose and just allow yourself to fill up to every corner and edge of you as you just pause for a moment when you are full and really just experience that sense of fullness. And without straining as you need to, slowly letting that go. Exhaling again through the nose and just gently pulling the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to push that last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment to really experience that sense of emptiness. As you allow your next breath to come to you as it's needed. And so you can breathe just like this for a few more rounds for as long as it feels good and helpful. And not worrying about the length of your inhales, pauses, and exhales, but just letting them be exaggerated, whatever that means for you today. Just taking one more sip of air, even when you think you're full, seeing how full you can get, and pausing to really experience what that feels like right now. And exhaling just a moment longer than you might normally. And again, pausing to really feel what that emptiness feels like. There's no rush whatsoever. You can continue to breathe like this for as long as it feels good and helpful. But at any point, if you're ready, and if you haven't already, you can just release this guidance over your breath altogether. And allow yourself to step back and up in the mind as you come into that role of the observer or the witness. To that point of view where you can simply watch as your body breathes, rather than having any direct influence or impact over the rhythm or depth of your breath. But reminding yourself that your breath is that one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. So just playing with that control and then release of control as we begin today. Remembering how your body does breathe even when you are deep in sleep, and how everything in your body functions perfectly to keep you alive without any of your doing. So just becoming curious and seeing if you can watch these processes as they happen within you. Taking on that same energy or perspective you might feel when you are laying on the beach and watching the waves roll up along the shoreline. You're not trying to change anything about how the waves are rolling up on the shore, but you're just watching as they do. Remembering that you have this ability to watch your breath in the same way. And knowing that some days this feels really difficult to do for whatever reason. And so there's nothing wrong with you if this feels like a difficult task today, to watch your breath without changing it at all. And just, again, making note or adding that to the notes of how you are beginning your practice today. Again, remembering that each and every time you show up for any meditation or healing practice, you will find something different. You will have a different starting point, because we are constantly changing, just like everything else in life. And so, you're starting to let your awareness come to your face. And even with the eyes closed, just seeing any expression that might be resting on your face. Noticing any emotions that could be communicated by the expression resting on your face. So oftentimes we can think that we are totally relaxed, and then when we tune in a little deeper, we can find hidden areas of tension, maybe in the brow, maybe in the nostrils, maybe in the chin or the jaw. And noticing how simply by being aware of these areas that are holding on or resisting a little bit to this relaxation, that can be exactly what you need to instead soften these areas. So you can just imagine that the jaw is hanging into place. You can imagine that your lips are soft and just resting on one another. The corners of your mouth, the tongue releasing from the roof of the mouth. As you just take on this overall sense of release in all the tiny muscles that exist inside and outside of the mouth. And you can just feel how that sense of release across the mouth naturally spreads outward and upward. And feel the nostrils release a bit more. the upper jaw and the cheeks, and even the chin, softening a little bit more. The ears releasing. And the eyelids, all those tiny little muscles that exist along the lash line that usually scrunch up when you squint, even feeling those tiny muscles soften as the corners of your eyes get a little bit wider just by this release of tension. Feeling the eyebrows and the forehead soften as well, as you just allow the full width and depth of your forehead to be. As the hairline softens back slightly. And allow that overall sense of release to naturally wash over the scalp, down the neck, as you feel the shoulders becoming a little heavier, the arms releasing a little deeper, and the hands and fingers as well. As you just feel this overall sense that the muscles across the face are hanging off of the bones, releasing back into the support of your skin. As you just feel this sense of trust with your own anatomy. Remembering that everything will be held right where it needs to be without any of your doing. Reminding yourself that it is safe for you to release. Feeling the muscles across the abdomen to soften a little bit more. Feeling the glutes and the pelvic floor soften even more. And just fully releasing yourself into the surface that is beneath you. Feeling like the pelvic floor is lengthening and widening. And just feeling how that naturally allows the upper legs to soften a little more and naturally trickles down into the calves and the shins and into your feet and toes. So you just feel this overall sense of heaviness in the body. This sense of acceptance with your weight, with your size, and just allowing yourself to be exactly as you already are. To be heavy and wide and long. You're not trying to change anything about what you are feeling, but just simply feeling whatever is here to feel. Reminding yourself that you are safe right where you are, in this body, on this earth, in a deep, deep way. You are safe. When you let go, you will not float away and you will not be crushed, but you will be held by gravity right where you need to be. And so it is safe for you to let go. And just simply allow yourself to be held and supported by the surface that is beneath you and by the earth that is beneath that surface. And just noticing if there's any layers of things stacked on top of this overall deep sense of safety that we all possess. Sometimes that can be really difficult, if not impossible, to feel in certain moments or in certain life circumstances. And so if there are layers on top of this safety, maybe things in your life that make you feel unsafe or just threaten this sense of safety, not ignoring those or pushing them away or down deeper, but allowing them to be there, allowing those reminders, those seeds to be planted within you. Remembering that there is always going to be a period of time between when we notice we need to make a change and when we actually have the power to make those changes. And so just being so kind and patient with yourself wherever you are in the process of change, in any area of your life. And just nurturing this trust with yourself, trusting that you always make the changes that you need to make exactly when you need to make them. And trusting that you do have the ability to curate your environment and your life to support your safety. And if there is anything that ever threatens your sense of safety, you have the power to turn away or to turn towards something that feels better, that feels safer for you. And so again, just allowing these seeds to be planted within you. Allowing this trust with yourself to build within you, wherever you are on the journey. And knowing that even when we are in circumstances that don't support our safety, even beneath those layers, even at the core of who we are safe. Our soul will return to wherever souls come from at the end of this life, and our body will return to the earth. And there is nothing that anyone can do to take this safety away from you. But again, just allowing any reminders or any layers that are on top of this deep safety to be heard, to be felt. Even when it feels scary or painful, knowing that you are capable of feeling scary and painful things. And then ignoring them or pushing them away is counterproductive, and it can cause us a lot more pain in the end. And so it is safe for you to plant these seeds of any changes that you need to make or you want to make in your life. And maybe your life feels perfect right now. And if that is the case, and there are no layers that are stacked on top of your deep and true sense of safety, and if you are fully feeling safe and loved, then allowing yourself to soak in all of that as well. And just simply allowing yourself to feel whatever is here for you to feel. As you just let some awareness come now to whatever part of your body is facing the sky above you. Maybe the crown of your head, or maybe the front side of your body if you're laying down. And just feel a sense that this part of your body is being magnetically drawn upward. Or maybe like there is a string at the crown of your head and it's gently being pulled upward as you let yourself get a little bit taller, a little bit longer. And you can feel the corners or the tips of your shoulders to be drawn in opposite directions as your collarbones become wide and broad. As you feel your heart sitting in this proud position toward the front of the body. And feeling a slight tuck of your bottom ribs to just feel that full length of your spine. And also a slight tuck in your chin to feel that full length of the back of your neck. And really just tracing the space with your awareness from the space between your sit bones all the way up through the lower, middle, and upper back, at the back of the heart between the shoulder blades. And tuning into your heart as you let your awareness continue up through the throat, into the skull, into the brain stem, and into the brain itself. And you can just trace that space up and down the center line of your body, from your root, the root of your spine, all the way up to the crown of your head. And allowing your awareness to almost wash or rinse this space, rinse your spinal cord. And just clearing any blocks or any obstructions that might exist in the spinal cord, energetically speaking. Just by your awareness, washing up and down the spine. Maybe seeing a depiction in your mind's eye of what this looks like to you. Maybe it looks like a light is running up and down the spine. Maybe it's moving fast. Maybe it's moving really slowly. Maybe it looks like water trickling down the spine. Or maybe something else entirely that words can't describe. But staying in this curious perspective as you just wonder what it is that you are seeing, even if it is just darkness at the backs of the eyelids. Just becoming curious as you peer into that dark space. Becoming curious of what it is that you are feeling. And just once again allowing your body to soften into this proud posture as you continue to grow longer and wider and take up the space that you truly take up. And you simply allow yourself to be exactly as you already are. There is nothing that you need to do right now. There is nothing that you need to change. And this is not a doing or thinking process, but a listening and observing process. And so using this time to listen to yourself, to watch yourself. We spend most of our days listening and looking everywhere else but within ourselves. So many screens outside of us. So many podcasts and conversations that we listen that are outside of us or don't even involve us necessarily. So just using this as a time to listen and watch yourself. Knowing that that is the way that we can sometimes learn the most about not only ourselves, but the world around us as well. And how we see the world around us is often a reflection of how we see the world inside of us. And just imagining that you are seeing the earth right now from outer space, just this beautiful blue and green marble. When you're looking down at the earth, you can see this beautiful world. And you know that on this world, there is so much pain and suffering and hurt. And at the same time, there is so much joy and beauty and love and happiness. And you know that the existence of the pain and suffering on the earth does not negate the existence of all the joy and love on the earth. But the two can coexist at the same time. And it does not take away from the beauty of the earth. In fact, it adds to the beauty of life. And if you imagine now looking at yourself from outside of your body and remembering that you are a little world of your own. You have an entire universe of life within you. And you yourself have been through and contained so much pain and suffering and hurt from whatever life has thrown at you. And at the same time, you contain so much love and joy and beauty and laughter and creativity and all the things that make life sweet. And just like the earth, the existence of your pain and suffering that you've experienced does not negate the existence of the joy and beauty that is within you. But you are capable of holding these contrasting feelings and ideas. You are your own world, and you are beautiful and whole exactly as you are. And you do not need to get rid of everything negative or cleanse yourself of all bad things. But just like the earth, you are capable of holding everything, the full contrast of the human experience. And you are beautiful and whole exactly as you already are. And so you can continue to feel whatever there is to be felt within you. As you just listen to the following words written by young Pueblo in his book, Inward. And just allow anything that feels like it resonates with you or strikes a chord with you to soak in a little bit deeper and not worrying about the rest. So a sign of growth is being okay with not being okay. There is an important difference between dwelling in misery and understanding that on the path of healing, things will come up that sometimes cause us to feel the old emotions and patterns that we are working on letting go. There is great power in honoring the reality of our current emotions not feeding them or making them worse, but simply recognizing that this is what has arisen in the present moment and that this will also change. When we create this space within ourselves, a space of calmness that is undisturbed by the storm tends to pass more quickly. Practicing such profound honesty within ourselves helps in all facets of internal and external life. There is no real freedom without honesty. And without honesty, there can be no peace of mind. Healing ourselves isn't about constantly feeling bliss. Being attached to bliss is a bondage of its own. Trying to force ourselves to be happy is counterproductive because it suppresses the sometimes tough reality of the moment, pushing it back within the depths of our being instead of allowing it to arise and release. Healing ourselves is the personal movement we embark on to let go of all the conditioning that limits our freedom. In this journey, there will undoubtedly be moments of bliss and difficulty. Real happiness and wisdom grow from the reality we experience, not from the fleeting moments of bliss that we feel. Who I am is always changing, not because I am being fake, but because I am always open to growth and transformation. Dear Moon, thank you for shedding light in the darkness, for helping me know myself better than before, for giving time and magic to the earth and order to our nightly stars. You are a mother who sees all, knows all, and asks for nothing in return. What does it mean to live in love? It means to rise above judgment so that we may see the world and ourselves with eyes of compassion. It means allowing the wisdom of love to orchestrate our actions, to always seek to produce thoughtful movements that support the good of all beings, and to emit peace into the ocean of humanity with our every step. Living in love is allowing ourselves to move through life with an open heart, so that all may share in the gift of our goodwill and kindness. It is to ask ourselves, how would love heal this situation before we make our move? Allow yourself to transform as many times as you need to be fully happy and free. So you can take the next few moments to just allow everything that you've heard today to settle. And trusting that anything you heard today that really resonated or struck a chord with you, just trusting that that feeling can come sometimes when we hear on the outside what a part of us already knows to be true on the inside. And so just letting those truths be enhanced within you, allowing that trust with yourself and your own instincts to grow within you, so you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own internal sense of knowing, on your own intuition. And never giving that power away to anyone else. Trusting that you already know exactly what it is you need to do. And at the end of everything, you are your own best teacher. There's not one person out there who can teach you more about yourself than what quiet time with yourself can teach you. So you can just let some awareness come back to your heart center if it left. And really just tune into this unique rhythm that is beating within your heart. The rhythm of the life that is being pumped through your body every single moment of every day. And if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can just let your hands come and find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. And you can feel your palms pressing into each other. You can let your heart lift toward your thumbs and your thumbs press back toward your heart as you just, again, feel all of this power that is generated through you. You can take a final deep and full breath into the body as you fill up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of as you allow the head to gently bow. And just taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see.